Welcome back. Today is March 13th, 2026. There's a lot of news to process today. Take a breath. We're going to look at the signals together and find the what you need to know. We have to start with some sobering news from the skies over Iraq. A U.S. refueling tanker went down in what was supposed to be safe airspace, and all 6 crew members were lost. Think about this for a second. These were not just pilots, they were the backbone of our long-range capability. When we lose specialized assets and experienced airmen like this, the ripple is not just a military statistic. It is 6 empty chairs at dinner tables and a significant gap in how we protect our interests in a region that is becoming more volatile by the hour. As we feel the weight of that loss, the scale of our commitment is growing. The Pentagon is sending the USS Tripoli and over 2,000 Marines to the Middle East right now. This is not just a routine rotation. It is a massive surge in response to the intensifying war with Iran and the rising casualties in Lebanon. Here's why this matters at your dinner table tonight. We are moving toward a reality of sustained and high-intensity ground conflict. It means more families across the country are watching the horizon, waiting for word from loved ones who are now stepping directly into the line of fire. The speed of this conflict is also putting a massive strain on our own defenses. We are burning through resources at a pace that is honestly hard to fathom. In just the first 6 days of this conflict, the U.S. has spent over $11 billion on munitions. We are exhausting stockpiles that took years to build. Here is the ripple for us at home. If we cannot replenish these high-end weapons faster than we use them, our ability to defend ourselves elsewhere or to deter other adversaries starts to look much more fragile. It is a reminder that even the deepest pockets have a bottom when the cost of war reaches this level. To try and keep up with that pace, the military is leaning harder on technology than ever before. We are seeing reports that the Pentagon is using AI chatbots to generate war plans and select targets. But this comes with a terrifying shadow. There is an investigation right now into an airstrike on an Iranian school, and no one is quite sure if the error was human or algorithmic. When we automate the decision to use lethal force, we risk an escalation that happens faster than any human can stop. It is the ultimate trade-off between efficiency and our own humanity. This shift toward unrestricted warfare is being mirrored in our policy at the highest levels. Defense Secretary Hegseth has eliminated the offices dedicated to minimizing civilian deaths, calling them stupid rules of engagement. Think about the ripple effect here. When we stop prioritizing the lives of non-combatants, we do not just win faster, we create a legacy of resentment that fuels radicalization for generations. It changes the very character of how we fight, and as we have seen with the school strike, the consequences are immediate and devastating for innocent people. While we look at our own strategy, the leadership on the other side is hardening in a way that should concern everyone. Mojtaba Khamenei has effectively taken over as the new supreme leader of Iran, and his first move was to declare the Strait of Hormuz closed. This is a radical shift. By controlling the most critical oil choke point in the world, he is holding the global economy hostage. For you, this means the risk of an energy depression is not just a theory anymore. It is a strategy being deployed by a leader who may have very little left to lose. The direct result of that move is a world where oil could hit $200 a barrel. Iran is threatening to use naval mines to completely halt the flow of energy. Even the threat of those mines is sending global markets into a tailspin. Here is why this matters to you. Every single thing you buy, from the food in your grocery store to the clothes on your back, requires fuel to reach you. If transportation costs decouple from reality, we are looking at a massive spike in the cost of living that will hit every American household. In a desperate bid to keep those gas prices down, the administration is making a move that would have been unthinkable just a short time ago. They have issued a waiver to allow for Russian oil sales despite ongoing sanctions. It is a sharp pivot that has our allies in Ukraine and Europe feeling deeply betrayed. But it shows where the priorities are right now. Domestic economic stability is being put ahead of traditional geopolitical alliances. It is a U.S.-first energy policy that signals just how much the pressure of this war is reshaping our global friendships. The friction from the Middle East is not staying overseas, though. We are seeing a heartbreaking spillover right here in our own communities. A suspect in a Michigan synagogue attack reportedly lost his family to an airstrike in Lebanon. Between that and a shooting at Old Dominion University, the war is triggering retaliatory violence on American soil. It is a heavy reminder that the world is smaller than we think, and the pain felt on the other side of the globe can manifest in our own neighborhoods as targeted acts of violence. It is not just physical threats we have to worry about. Iranian state-sponsored hackers are ramping up attacks on our digital infrastructure. They are moving past stealing data and are now aiming to disrupt actual services like banking, power, and water. This is asymmetric warfare at its most personal. You might not see a soldier in your street, but a service blackout or a frozen bank account can disrupt your life just as effectively. Our digital world is now a primary front in this conflict, and we are all on the line. For those on the West Coast, the threat has taken a new and more visible shape. The FBI has warned California law enforcement that Iran might be looking to use low-cost drones for retaliatory strikes. While officials say there is no imminent threat, they are already checking emergency sirens in major cities. Think about that, the oceans used to be our moat, protecting us from foreign attacks. But technology has bridged that gap. The reality of modern warfare is that the front line can be anywhere, even a city street in California. To combat these threats, the government is doubling down on surveillance. There is an 18-month extension of warrantless spy powers moving through Congress right now. The administration is using other legislative goals as leverage to make sure the FBI and CIA maintain their access to digital communications. It means that for the foreseeable future, your digital data remains open to federal agencies without a warrant. It is the age-old struggle of how much privacy we are willing to trade for the promise of security during a time of war. At the same time, we are seeing a massive push to change how our democracy functions with the Save America Act. This bill would require proof of citizenship for federal elections, and it is already gaining momentum in several states. This is the most significant structural change to our voting process in decades. Whether you see it as a necessary security measure or a barrier to the ballot, it will fundamentally alter the voter pool for the next election. It is a shift that will echo through our political landscape for years. Even our health protections are being sacrificed to the war effort. The EPA is loosening limits on ethylene oxide, which is a known carcinogen used to sterilize medical equipment. The argument is that we need to prevent supply chain shortages for the military. But for the people living near these industrial plants, the ripple is a significantly higher risk of cancer over the long term. It is a stark example of how federal health protections are being traded for industrial expediency. It is a cost of war paid in human health. Finally, we have to look at the deepening rift with China. The US has launched massive trade probes, and Beijing is responding by hardening its own economic plans to survive our tariffs. We are watching the two largest economies in the world decouple in real time. This is not just a trade dispute anymore, it is a structural economic Cold War. As these ties break, the global economy we have known is disappearing, replaced by a world of competing blocs and rising costs for every consumer on the planet. The news was heavy, but you are not carrying it alone. Stay connected. Stay present. We are right here with you. See you in the next brief.